What's good, y'all? Shout out to the folks in the old dirty South, man. This video here, honestly, is just simple. The maps. To this day, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Because it seems like the devs don't know what the hell they doing with maps in this game. Like, it's so ridiculous. DBD is by far the only game that I've ever played in my life to where they keep on adding new things to maps in addition to the RNG-ness of the maps, to where a person like me who's been playing this game since 2018 is now don't even know, can't even fully memorize a single map like I used to because of how much RNG and new stuff they continuously add to these maps. It's already bad as is the fact that throughout like the past 5 years, every map that they've added in terms of balance wise is absolutely trash, right? And we can all agree on how controversial about every single of these maps are, especially licensed maps, since the only probably decent licensed map balance wise, even though this right here is a stretch to people, is Midwich Elementary. Other than that, every other licensed map in this game is trash because of the balance. My issue with this is this, right? Yes, the devs can be incompetent depending on which section of what they're doing, right? Or just incompetent in general. But the devs have their flaws, etc. We all know the problem that we have, right? But one thing I will strongly say that they can never get right. Only a tad bit, a teeny tiny bit. But for a vast majority of the time, they can never get right. And that is the balance of maps. I've never seen them fold so badly when it comes to map balancing. I mean, when it comes to anything else but map balancing. Oh my God, I said that so wrong. Let me rephrase that. I have never seen them really be fully successful when it came to balances of maps. Every time they try, it's either they try, but they have to redo it over and over and over again because the fan base still isn't satisfied with it because of how bad they keep on changing it. And it's not like it's getting any better, but it's not getting significantly worse at that. But no, it gets worse. It gets worse. Some maps will get slightly better, but look, it's either they make a map or they redo a map and it's worse than what it was before, and they have to keep on changing it and changing it for people to be satisfied. And the new concept and philosophies that they add to maps, it just makes it worse and worse. It's either that or they do create a good map variant and it actually stays, but it's like a very, very minority of it. And I'm referring to the ones that isn't really killer sided, but it's not extremely survivor sided, because let's be real, about every single map, probably except for 2 or 3, is survivor sided. Let's be real, right? Or it's either they created a good map, a good variant of the map that was perfect, but it's no longer playable within the servers. For instance, the Hourglass maps. The Hourglass maps like what's the name of the Hourglass map in Macmillan? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I can't believe my dumb I forgot the name. Well, Azeroth's Resting Place, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the Hourglass map. They had a variant that wasn't Hourglass, if I'm not mistaken. But then they removed it. Now it's just strictly in custom matches, which I'm not mistaken is right here. Now if I can show you the names of it right here. Look at this. Look at this. Where is it at? Look at this. Where is it at? Not Cold Tower. Suffocation Pit. Suffocation Pit is an Hourglass map. They had a better version of it that isn't Hourglass, but due to, I guess, people complaining there was more than one variation or whatever, They basically kept the bad one, which has been here for years, and kept the good one only restricted to this. It's the same with, where is that junk at? I don't know. No, this don't have it. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where the hell is it at? Azeroth's resting place. Man, you see? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Azeroth's resting place. If I'm not mistaken, that jump not even on here anymore. They got rid of it. Wait, did they really have it? Well, I'm starting to feel dumb right now. The Sanctum of Wrath is another one. Matter of fact, the Sanctum of Wrath is right here. They have the variant to where it's not an hourglass, but due to, I guess, people complain about double variants of the same map like this, they kept it only in custom. They should have brought the original hourglass trash, replaced it with that, and just kept the new one. But that's another example right there of what I'm just saying. And then in addition to, I also made myself, right, a reel, right? I made myself a reel. You know, I'm finna have to delete it right here. Yeah, let's see. But I made a reel, short clip, whatever. I posted that all over the place. It was basically this new variant tile, which is so weird and odd. And I'm just thinking in my head, why did y'all create something like this? This joint here seems, I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be a little bit of survivor bias, but that joint seemed extremely hard to loop. Like, you could loop it, of course, but it's hard to really combo with it. And even if you do, it's not like it gives you really no reward. It's just absolute trash. That joint to me is probably as bad as like a 50-50 palette. I'm gonna be real with you. But it's just huge and it has a window, which I guess that was their objective. But why create that? We already had the tiles that we have. All you have to do is to either have a little bit less of it, well, make it so that it's not too RNG based, which that's another thing too, the RNG base of this. Also, if y'all hearing I'm rambling all the way, because I don't really do script stuff like that. I just go based off my head. All right. But when it comes to the RNG has become so crazy, so odd, to where people like me who play the game for years and recognize an RNG that this area has a chance of spawning this, that, and the third, it doesn't really feel like that no more. And probably it's because it's hard to memorize this one particular individual map out of the dozen maps that we have in this game nowadays. So when we get into a map, we recognize it to a good extent, but not as well. Okay, you know what? Let me say, for instance, right? One map, right? One single map, an older map, right? It was already memorizable for me. Like, for instance, the Thompson house, right? Because especially where the main building spawns, where the killer shack be at, or sometimes the jungle gyms and stuff be at. But due to the various amount of changes with new tiles that was only exclusive to other maps and etc., now it's gone to the point where now it's hard. It's more difficult now to really know where the tiles are at spawn. The worst part about it is that it's not like we're going to this map every single match to memorize it. Because first we could go to a map like the Thompson house, or we could go to the game, or we could go to Midwich Elementary or Raccoon City. You know what I'm saying? There's so many maps now. Now these new variants that you all have created, now it's going to be hard for us to memorize it while we're going to all these other maps. And it's not like map offerings are 100% guaranteed anymore, right? But also, here's the thing. All this RNG, we should have gotten to the point now, especially the fact that y'all tapping a little bit into the competitiveness. Y'all should settle down with the RNG. Y'all should have, period. Because one thing about this game is unbalanced as hell. And I stay strong by this, that the true strong reason why this game is extremely unbalanced is because of how bad the maps are being created. All right. And I know it's harder to make maps balance where you have the gap between a C tier and a D tier significant, which is why those certain killers need to be nerfed down to the basics. You know what I'm saying? And and it's unfortunate because when you do that, you're gonna have people, while you're in the process of doing that, you're gonna have people that's not really going to enjoy those killers anymore. We've seen it happen with Spirit. Spirit used to be played so much. Ever since she got a nerf, even though she's still what, top tier is killer, probably top 10, maybe reaching down to 15 nowadays. But the amount of people who play Spirit has decreased, even though she's still a strong killer. But the amount of players that play Spirit has decreased for like the past what? When she got that nerf that dropped her down like 3 years ago now. It's crazy. The time flies. But right there, not too many people play Spirit mode, which I get that. I mean, look at the Kresu. The Kresu drop rate dropped so hard ever since she got in that nerf. If I'm mistaken, she's still a real good killer, but guess what? Nobody don't want to play her no more because she got that crazy. She got a nerf. I don't know how hard a nerf hit. I think she just went for like what, A tier or something like that. Maybe B tier. I say she's A tier still. Yeah, A tier in my eyes. But a lot of people don't play her no more, which I know that's going to be the cost when you nerf the very strong killers. I know when you nerf the weak killers, you're going to have a opposite effect. You're going to have more people playing them, especially if they're killers that people like Miss Piggy. They like playing the pig. If the pig got a nerf something like Myers, where she's at that level of Myers, which is what, a B tier, you know, you're going to have a lot of people play pig. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how it is. But I'll admit, I know you have to balance the two for that, but I say this. Y'all should have an idea, or at least listen to the community of the idea of what the killers and gaps and all that might be, right? Do that, and after that, go ahead and do the balance of math. You know, me personally, I say you just do the balance of math off the jump, because I'll admit, even as a survivor man like myself, who's pretty good at looping, it's still annoying though, because now I have to re-memorize everything. That's another reason why Winner's Opportunity is being used so much. Winner's Opportunity is brain dead just because of the RNG of the maps. It's one of the most used perks in the game due to how bad the RNG is and how not everybody, even certain veteran players nowadays, y'all keep on adding stuff to new and old maps, that we're going to use that perk to just know the hell we're going. It's that bad, bro. See, when I play a game like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch or any other game that involves maps, once I know what the map layout looks like, I know what it looks like. I don't have to deal with no weird variation or no short variation to where there's no walls or anything like that. Because yes, there are variations. Even though it's a very low chance in DBD to where you can only have probably like a maximum of 5 pallets. It's crazy. It's crazy that something like that can exist. And some crazy double pallets too, even though those chances are so slim. It was a little bit more higher like 3-4 years ago, but it's so slim nowadays. But regardless though, the fact that it can happen and the fact that you have a chance to witness that, and then you're going to get pissed off due to something like that is insane to me. The devs behavior. I don't care what anybody say. Y'all did y'all thing. Even though I'll admit this year has been questionable with the way y'all been acting when it comes to stuff. But please, bro, y'all need to learn. Y'all might need like some professionals or something like that from other companies so that they could really look at the game maps and tell y'all what to do when it comes to map changes. Me personally, I am not caring about the killer survivor stuff, because overall, even though I was just saying though, in order for the map to be balanced, they need to like fix the gap between the two. And you know what? No. Forget that part I just said. Fix the maps, balance them to where it fits the even ground, the middle ground, the B and C, and then balance everybody by the B and C. Balance everybody to the B and C, if possible. You're still gonna have, obviously, due to the nature of their power, higher than others, of course. But if you balance that together, balance that right in a proper way, I'm telling you, it's gonna feel better for a lot of people. Another thing too, y'all servers are trash. I don't know what's up with y'all. Ever since Unreal Engine 5, y'all can't get y'all servers right. Even I heard a lot of people had Unreal Engine 5. That's why trying to upgrade so fast, just because everybody else doing it, is a NPC bot move. Y'all shouldn't have done that. Y'all should have just waited until that jump complete. No, my mind's gonna tap the jump, whatever. But y'all never should have done that. Because of that, now we're dealing with this issue here with all this ping. But that's a different topic for a different day. The maps, y'all need to figure this out. It's 9 years. Other than this garbage spaghetti code, which I'm gonna talk about the garbage spaghetti code in a different video. But you know what? I'm gonna mention it briefly because I know it's gonna have something to do with the map changes. Yo, y'all spaghetti code is so bad, bro. Y'all keep on getting all these bugs because of this doo-doo spaghetti code. Y'all need to make a DVD 2 with a brand new coding. A DVD 2 would make more sense than Overwatch 2. I know that for a fact. But I digress. That right there, fix your maps. Your maps need to be tanked. Your maps need to be fixed. It really needs to be fixed. Cause this joint here is not it, bro. This joint here is ruining games. People get pissed off. Me, I only get pissed off not because of how good the killer is or how bad my teammates is or how. I begin upset because of my own performance. But I mostly get upset because of how the maps are and the RNG from it, bro. I really don't get upset that much over anything else other than, of course, these weird behind bugs because y'all doo-doo coding, but mainly, importantly, the maps. The maps will always be the determining factor, and I'm gonna say this strongly. Maps are the determining factor of majority of matches in DBD. I'm gonna repeat that. Maps in this game in particular are the deciding factor whether a killer or survivor is going to win. It will be the deciding factor always. Always. With the exception of 4, possibly 3-man Swifts that know what they're doing and a S-tier killer. If it's not a 3 or 4-man Swift or S-tier killer, the game is decided by the maps. All right? That's it, man. I'm done talking. I've talked too much.